of this month. So those are matches to expect in the Nigeria Premier Football League. We shall do a proper preview of those matches. But first off, let's let you in on the cable TV, the broadcast deal signed by the Nigeria Football Federation for the coverage of the Nigeria Premier Football League. As chairman of the board, Benga Elegbeleye has disclosed that the 5 years broadcast deal with StarTimes is worth 5.76 billion naira. Elegbeleye was speaking in an exclusive interview with veteran sport journalist Mitchell Obi, where he explained how the monies will be spread across the 5 seasons.
In this first season that we are now, because the league have started, so they are joining us, not midway really, but already we have already started. So they are going to invest 1.06 billion. That's 1 billion and 60 million. Then next season will now be 1.1 billion. It's 1 billion and 100 million. The one that will follow will be increased by another 50 million. That third season will be 1 billion 150 million. The fourth one will be 1.2 billion. The fifth and the last one will be 1 billion 250 million. Like 50 million incremental charges every year. It's a progressive increment.
Starting from November the 18th, 2 games will be televised every week. 3 months afterwards, 4 games will be televised. For the next 3 years, 8 games in total will be televised. Propel is already scheduled to stream 8 matches per week, but Elegbeleye explained there is no clash with the Propel deal.
Propel is completely OTT. Propel is what you can sit down and pick your telephone. It's like you can go to your mobile app now and watch matches and Premier League matches in Nigeria. You do that. If you download my DSTV app. But this one is Propel is that you download DFL live on your telephone. You watch our matches live. But the one we started is strictly T and DTH, which is just cable television. So there are 2 different products.
2 different products for the Nigeria Premier Football League to be streamed on the Propel platform and also to be televised using the cable television contract signed by the NFF. Before we dive into the conversation proper about this and also bring you up to speed with the matches to expect, a proper preview of those matches, let's update you with what's going on. Now, first match already decided in the English Premier League. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2-1 winners over Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal against Burnley is goalless. Crystal Palace against Everton is currently 1-0. Manchester United against Luton Town at the 18th minute. There is no goal to report from that centre. Bournemouth is slated to take on Newcastle United by 6:30 p.m. In the Spanish La Liga, one match has been decided already. Rayo Vallecano against Girona ended 1-2 in favour of the away side. At the 4th minute of asking, at Almeria against Real Sociedad is goalless. We are expecting Granada to take on Getafe much later. Osasuna against Las Palmas. Real Madrid to host Valencia by 9 p.m. In Italian Serie A, one match is ongoing already, and that match is likely going to produce a winner in AC Milan because they are currently leading by 2 goals against Lecce, who is the home side. That match is at the 60th minute. Juventus against Cagliari comes up much later. Monza to take on Torino much later. In the German Bundesliga, 3 matches are at half time. Those matches are Augsburg 0, Hoffenheim 1, Bayern Munich 2, FC Heidenheim 0, Darmstadt 0, Mainz 0. At the 4th minute of additional time, VfB Stuttgart is drawing 1-0 against Borussia Dortmund. Then much later, 6:30 p.m, we'll see Bochum take on FC Cologne. Now, in the French League 1, 2 matches will be decided today. Reims to take on Paris Saint-Germain and Le Havre to take on Monaco by 9 p.m. So, the top 5 leagues and the matches ongoing and the ones we expect for you on today's Sports Live. Eva, let's start from here. I can't recall the last time we had a deal or the hierarchy in sport in Nigeria secured a deal and we know what the figures are. We had to dig deep to know how much Pesero was earning and also had to dig deep to know how much his predecessor in Gannett Raw was earning. The Puma deal, we didn't even know how much it was worth. It took the effort of some concerned sport journalist who wants to know what's actually going on under the hood to bring these figures out. But here is the Propel deal, I beg your pardon, the broadcast deal with the NFF for the Nigeria Premier Football League And we know that across 5 years, 5.76 billion naira will be spent. That's 5.760 billion naira involved in this deal, Ivo.
It should be commonplace and common practice, that normally deals like this, contracts like this, you disclose the fees. We've not even had to dispute about this, right? Even up to the level of player salaries for top leagues around the world. We have not even have to, we've not had to even negotiate or talk about this, dispute or argue about players' salaries or anything around the world. So I think that at the moment, the MPFL has done the right thing, and the NFF has also done the right thing by trying their best to review this particular contract terms and the figures involved, because this is what will stand at the end of the day. We've seen some level of digging in by sport journalists and also those that are interested in sports in Nigeria, because just like we had a few people talk about the FIFA Women's World Cup, how much was penciled down, to be used for the trip, and even officials that were on the trip, how much were going to be paid, and so on and so forth. You don't want that to come to the open and you'll be caught napping. So it's good that they state clearly how much was involved in this particular deal, so that at the end of the day we keep track with them appropriately. Like we saw during the ITO deal with the NFF for the sponsorship of the Federations Cup, during that period we didn't know that how much was it a billion, how much it was, a 5 billion deal for the Federations Cup, right? 500 million every year, right? It was when the deal wasn't going right, when people were questioning why teams were not getting paid for each level that they do progress through, that we now heard that the ITU on their own part were not even keeping up to the contract terms because we're paying haphazardly. So if this doesn't come to the fore now, at the end of the day, when Star Times maybe try to pull out or try to play smart and the money is not coming forth, you can't call them out because Nigerians knew nothing about the terms and the conditions and also the valuation of this deal in the first place. So I think it's nice, and it's also commonplace that this happens as a routine. The world is changing. This is the 21st century, and people are becoming more and more curious about things happening around the environment. So it is better that NFF follows suit. If not, the letters will still leak out. The contract will still be leaked out to the public. So it's good to come out in the first place and tell Nigerians that this is what is involved. This is how much we are making. And this is where we want to put this money at the end of the day to improve Nigerian football.
All right. Now, let's look at things from this angle before we look at matches, the matches for the weekend proper. Osasi Hinwi, it's like a new era is being, what's the word now? Birthed, more like it, in the Nigeria Premier Football League since the emergence of Benga Elegbeleye, first off as the chairman of the interim management committee, and now as the chairman of the Nigeria Premier Football League board.
Yeah, true. I would agree with you 100% on this particular one. And this is what you get to see when you decide to distinguish yourself or separate yourself to ensure that you do the right thing at all times. Now, you can see that with the right set of persons and the right mindset, Nigerian football can actually be transformed into one of the best as regards global football. We have been dwindling in the waters of shabby performances, and we've not been able to at least take our sport where we ought to be ever since, just because we've actually not had the right persons to do the business for us. Now, you can see the man Benga Elegbeleye and those working with him right from the time where he came in as the head of the IMC. That was last season. We saw how it's even if it was an abridged league, we saw what they actually did, and at the end of it all, we had our doubts at the beginning, and at the end of it all, we could actually beat our chest and say, yes, this team we passed the vote of confidence on them that if they were given the mantle to run the league for the next 2 or 3 years, definitely we're going to see an upward spiral. We're going to see a growth in Nigerian football, and that's exactly what we are seeing here. It has never been like this before. Like if I will quote you from the beginning, that we've actually had deals. We actually came to a point where even the winner of the league actually doesn't know how much he or she will be getting. Yes.
Money to be paid,
yes.
yeah.
But now at least we can see that the last season we saw that monies came and they went to where they were actually designed to go to, and right now we've seen sponsorship deals coming. We've seen how much we are to expect. There's nothing better than what we are seeing right now, because now you can actually put your hand on deck to ensure that Nigerian football grows. Not like before when they say let's all put our hands on deck to ensure that our football grows, and there is actually no deck for us to place our hands on. Right now we have something to place our hands on, and the best is just what we can expect.
Expect the best from the Nigeria Premier Football League. So if you've not had interest in the league before, I think it's about time. I think it's about time for you to develop interest in the Nigeria Premier Football League, because things are changing. So stop sitting on the fence, stop sleeping on the bicycle. Get your hands dirty. By dirty, I mean get involved. Know your club, know your coaches, because it's getting gradually to that point where the Nigeria Premier Football League will be one of the most talked about, when you're considering inter-club domestic leagues in the world. All right, so let's look at matters on the pitch, and we're going to be starting off with I'd like to let us in on what the table looks like here in the Nigeria Premier Football. Like I mentioned, Duma United are currently leading Aqua United. All right, so Lobby Stars are currently on top of the Premier League table. They've played 7 matches with 14 points. Rangers International have played the same number of points. They have 13 points. Shooting Stars, 13 points. They've played the same number of matches. Remo Stars in 4th position. They've played 1 match less compared to others. That's 6 matches with 12 points. Abia Whereas 5th position with 12 matches, having played 7 matches. 12 points, I beg your pardon, having played 7 matches. Sporting Lagos are 6th on the table. 7 matches played and 11 points. Let me stop there. Do they have the potential to win the league? One of the players of Sporting Lagos was interviewed, a midfielder, and he said, we are in here to win the league. Yes, admittedly, Remo Stars were promoted into the league, and since they gained promotion, they have cemented their place in the league. They are now pursuing continental places and all. Do you see this club with the attributes to win the league this season, Queen?
Well, let me not say impossible, because in football nothing is impossible, but I don't think they have the 70% chances of doing that. I mean, you look at this club was founded in 2022. And I can't remember anywhere in the world where a club in just 1 year got promotion into the top tier football, and then you're going to win the league.
It's about to happen. Maybe it can happen in the NPFL.
That would be like every other thing that the rest of the clubs have been doing, the Kano Pillars of this world, the Abia Warriors, those who have even Remo Stars, that would be rubbing mud on their faces. And I don't think they would want that to happen. I say Remo Stars, Sporting Lagos, they are doing quite well for themselves.
Are you sure it's not happened before? I feel that was Ocean Boys of Brass. I feel it was a newly promoted side who came into the league and won the league.
Like they were established.
It seems Ocean Boys, came in from the lower ranks of Nigerian football and won the league the full.
What I mean is a team like established.
Okay.
Then this year, the next 2 years, you're promoted and then you're going ahead to win the league. I really cannot remember where that has happened in the world, except we'll have to find out, because it's really very weird. weird to say that, and it means that every other team that have been in that league, we're actually not doing well. They were not playing well.
But football is not a reward system,
yes.
So it pays no respect to your.
But then, football rewards experience. That's why we look at it and we're like, oh, these people have got experience in this area. They are just new. Like we used to say, okay, like we used to, let me even call Tottenham now. We used to say, when the jungle mature, there are times where injury will set in. They've not started recording injuries yet. They've not started having this rescheduling of matches and all of those. By the time injury sets in and other things happen, players are informed right now. There'll be a time where players will not be informed. Other players will pick up. What will you do? It's still very early days. Even lobby stars themselves that are up there, they are even telling you they are not under pressure to win the league because they've tested the league. They know what it takes to win the league. So they are not bragging that we're going to win this league. But I quite understand the confidence with the Sporting Lagos team. They are beaming with confidence. I mean, the last team that would have done that was in the Champions League, RB Leipzig. I think they were established in 1999 or thereabouts. They got their first UEFA Champions League appearance and made it, I think, to the quarterfinals that season. I was looking like it was a big deal because, I mean, you look at they are very young when you talk about football. But Sporting Lagos, a whole lot, it will come at them. But all of you should have the antics, the nitty-gritties. The worst I see them repeating will be the Remo Star outcome of last 2 seasons, where they, got promoted, made it to the continent at once. That's the highest for me that I expect from them if they do so well. But going ahead to win the league with the likes of Eyimba, the experience of Kano Pillars, even Shooting Stars themselves have been there over the years. You talk about Rivers United, you talk about Rangers, Enugu Rangers, you talk about Heartland. No. They shouldn't allow these people conspire against them, because if they do, it will not be a deliberate act to ensure that they want to start. And look at where they are. Yes, even though the points are not that much, right? The points are not that much, but they are still. I think they are 7th on the log currently. They're 7th on the log. It is still a long way to go. Let's see what happens. I feel like some of these big boys will definitely pick up before the first half of the league is over. They will definitely pick up, and by the time you know it, we'll be looking for these Shooting Stars. We'll finna go see them.
Sporting Lagos,
Sporting Lagos, forgive me.
All right, so RB Leipzig was founded in 2009. So Doma United is seated 7th. They are currently leading Aqua United, and that's why they find themselves